Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. First case that we have is cause number 332-206. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Elvis Trevanier Cruz. We have Ms. Jennifer Araji, who will be interpreting for Mr. Cruz. Mr. Cruz speaks Spanish. Mr. Rogers, please raise your right hand. Mr. Rogers, do you swear or affirm to interpret Spanish to English and English to Spanish, so help you God?
Yes, Judge.
You may put your hand down. Ask Mr. Cruz if his full name is Elvis. Is that Tavernier Cruz?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Cruz?
Yeah, good.
Okay. Now, I need to ask, Mr. Cruz, are you a citizen of the United States?
He's a resident.
Okay, and what country is he from?
Mexico.
Okay, let me do this. We're gonna have him, you can have him to take a seat and give him this form. It's in Spanish. And you can go over this here form with Mr. Rogers. Just, yeah, have him to take a seat. You know what, Ms. Rogers? Have him to go into the conference room.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I could do some more. Thank you. Next case is cause number 331712. And the case is styled the state of Texas versus James William Hunter.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hunter. Your full name is James William Hunter?
Correct, Junior.
Okay, James William Hunter Jr. Mr. Hunter, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Hunter, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Hunter, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Hunter?
Doing good. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Hunter, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of the Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Mr. Hunter, do you recognize this document?
I do.
And Mr. Hunter, is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, it is.
And are these your initials on the line stating that you would like to have this case reset so that you can hire your own attorney?
Correct.
Okay. Now, Mr. Hunter, before you signed and initial this document, did you read the document?
I did.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Hunter,
Also, I
our
have-
court coordinator is going to reset your case to give you time to hire an attorney. You're gonna stand on the X in front of her, and once she gives you your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
I do have another question. So I work offshore, I think you guys have it noted. I'm leaving 63 days. So I mean, when you make those court dates, do you guys take that into consideration, or
You say you leave in 63 days?
I leave for 63 days? I have
Yeah,
another
okay.
week and a half.
When are you leaving?
I should be leaving the 25th.
The 20th, what's, the day is the 7th.
Yeah.
So.
So I mean, if you
18
guys,
days.
if I can hire them now and we can get this, like, hurry up and I don't mean to sound bad, but I want to get this taken care of.
Well, but thank you. We'll give you, we normally reset it for 60 days. We can reset you,
It's July 22nd. That's the reset.
let me ask you this here. Will you be back on the 22nd? Or if not, we can reset it a little further out. You say you're gonna be out 63 days.
Yes, but if I get my attorney, he's gonna be able to like show up for me, correct?
Well, you'll have to make an appearance either by in person, by Zoom, or by
Yep, I
telephone.
can do Zoom. We have Zoom out there, which is fine.
Okay, so we just give them the standard reset date.
All right,
Would that
thanks.
be fine?
Yes, sir.
All right, here you go. Bella. Need that, you had to pay for it.
Yeah, he is the paper.
That's the next court date, right? You're trying to go down.
Okay, Mr. Cruz, would you please raise your right hand? The other hand? Mr. Cruz, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Cruz, I have before me a document. Actually, this document is titled "For All Foreign Nationals Except Those from Mandatory Notification Countries." Ask Mr. Cruz, does he recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes.
Prior to signing this document, did Ms. Araji go over this document with you in Spanish?
Yes.
Now, this document is written in Spanish, and did he also read the document?
He said he did.
And ask Mr. Cruz if he understood everything in this document.
Yes.
And ask Mr. Cruz if everything in this document is true and correct to the best of his knowledge.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so he stated that he does not want the consular officers at this time to be contacted, is that
Right.
correct? Yes,
No. Okay.
okay, all right. Now, Mr. Cruz, I have another document before me. This document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Ask Mr. Cruz, does he recognize this document?
Yes.
Ask him if this is his signature on this document.
Yes.
And ask him if these are initials stating that he wants his case to be reset so he can hire his own attorney.
Y eso sí son sus iniciales que yo creo que yo también la que lo puedo hacer algún abogado. Yes.
And ask Mr. Cruz if before he signed and initialed these documents, did you go over these documents with him in Spanish?
Y antes de firmar e iniciar estos documentos, sí te explico todo lo que dijo bien. Yes.
And ask him if he understood everything that you went over.
Que sí entendiste lo que dijo el documento. Yes.
And ask him if everything in this document that he signed and initialed is true and correct to the best of his knowledge.
Y todo el documento lo antes de firmar es cierto, ¿verdad? Yes.
Okay. Okay. Tell Mr. Cruz that his case is going to be reset. We're going to need him to stand over there by the court coordinator. She's going to reset his case and give him the information, give him his reset date. And once he gets his reset date, he'll be free to go and tell him to have a blessed day.
Okay. Que van a cambiar su nombre hasta los días
Okay, here you go. Jordan Livingston. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. And you have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you. Court is in session in cause number 332008. Case is style of state of Texas versus Jordan Michael Livingston. Oops. Mr. Livingston, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Livingston, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Livingston, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir. So,
Mr. Livingston, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Livingston?
I'm doing good today, sir.
That's good. Mr. Livingston, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Mr. Livingston, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And at the bottom of this document, on the line that's titled Defendant, is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And there are a set of initials on the line stating that I want to apply for a court-appointed counsel.
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Livingston, I also have a document before me that's titled Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Livingston, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Livingston, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is that is above the line that's titled Defendant signature?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Livingston, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Livingston, I read your answers in this affidavit of indigence. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. An attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Langston Adams. Mr. Livingston, our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Adams. You're gonna stand on the 4X. Once you get that information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Roderick Williams. This is cause number 328528. Case is style of state of Texas versus Roderick Thomas Williams. Mr. Williams, is that your full name? Mr. Williams, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Williams, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Williams, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Williams? You doing fine? Okay, Mr. Williams, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without Attorney. Ms. Williams, do you recognize this document? And at the bottom of this document, there's a signature. Is this your signature? There are a set of initials on line stating I want to apply for a court-appointed attorney. Are these your initials? I have another document before me. This document
Your first one
is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Williams, do you recognize this document?
will be contacting me different-
And
another day, different day.
on page 2 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant Signature. Mr. Williams, is this your signature? Now, Mr. Williams, I read the affidavit of indigence. Well, now, Mr. Williams, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you read the documents? And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Okay, now, Mr. Williams, I was reading the information that you provided. And based on the information, I don't think you qualify for appointment of court-appointed attorney. Unless some of this information is wrong, it appears that, I guess, you have like $1,000 left over every month. That's what it's, I mean, I'm just doing the addition and subtraction. And based on that, it seems like you have enough money to hire your attorney. Okay, so at this time, the court is not going to approve this application for an appointment of a court-appointed attorney. Okay, and so what that basically means is you can, the court can give you time to see if you can go talk to a couple of lawyers, and then we'll reset your case to do that. Okay. All right, just give him a 60-day reset. You're gonna stand on the 4X. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Which one is different? Yeah, there goes to them. Next case. Let me see, hold on a minute.
Okay, let's sign the thing, please. You won't see it, but I will.
This is cause number 331-662. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Alan Santos, the Alan William Santos. Mr. Santos, is that your full name? Mr. Santos, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Santos, do you swear, affirm, and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Santos, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Santos?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Santos. I have before me some documents. First document that I have is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Mr. Santos, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Santos, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating I want to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Santos, I also have another document here. This document is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of this same document, Mr. Santos, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Santos, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir. That's my mouth. That's my ability.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Santos, I read the affidavit of indigence based on your answers. You meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that is going to be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Terrence Allison. Now, Mr. Santos, our court administrator just handed you a document, another document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that document?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna go over that document with you. That document will be for you. And this document states standard bond conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered, subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Repeat
The number 1, the defendant shall not commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or the United States. Do you understand that condition?
it. Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who, A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, A2 and C2. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 4 does not apply, but condition number 5 does apply. Condition number 5 say that the defendant shall wear a global positioning monitoring system device at the defendant's expense with written verifications being submitted to the court within 3 days. So you need to get a GPS. Do you understand that?
Will it be given to me?
No, it's not gonna be given to you. You're gonna have to purchase it. Okay?
Am I gonna know where to purchase it from?
Hmm?
Am I gonna know where to purchase it from?
What, the places? Yeah. I think there is, we have a form, if I'm not mistaken, that have that on there, okay?
So this is basically a ankle monitor.
That's what it is. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you're gonna stand on that X and we're gonna get someone to give you that paperwork. You stand on that X in front of our coordinator, and then once you give that information, get that information from our court coordinator, just have a seat, we're gonna get that information to you. Do you have that? Excuse me.